Another app for inventory, one for CRM. Oh, don't forget accounting. Wait, which login was that?
Or you could use Odoo, one fully integrated system that does it all without the hassle. Ditch the app overload. Get everything your business needs on one platform. Try Odoo free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
You know what it is. That's right. It's time to talk money with your money nerd and financial coach. Now, tighten those purse strings and open those ears. It's the Money Talk with Tiff podcast.
Hey, and welcome back to Tiffany's Take on Money Talk with Tiff. I'm your host, Tiffany Grant, and we've spent the last 7 episodes talking about stewardship, from reviewing your progress, recovering from setbacks, building your circle, etc., etc. It's been a journey. But here's the question I keep getting. Tiffany, this works when life is calm. What happens when things get busy again, which can probably be tomorrow? Today, we're going to be talking about full plate stewardship, how to keep your financial foundation solid when your calendar fills up, your energy dips, and the simple just feels impossible. Now, before we get started, if you want your question answered here on the podcast, just go to www.moneytalkwitht.com/Ask Tiffany, and I'll be happy to help. And I put it on a future episode. So anyway, let me be honest with you. The past few months, I've been in a protected season. Limited work hours, clear boundaries, focused priorities. That's been necessary because I've had postpartum recovery. I finished a book. I'm rebuilding systems on the back end, but I know that this season won't last forever. So my son's sleep will shift, new opportunities will come up, the book will launch, and I'll face the same choice you face right now. Do my stewardship practices survive the busy season, or do I abandon them until the next calm period? So here's what I've learned. If your financial system only works when life is easy, it's not a system, it's a hobby. When life gets full, you can't do everything, but you also can't do nothing. I operate on what I call the Non-Negotiable Trio. It's 3 stewardship practices that stay in place regardless of how chaotic everything else gets. Everything else can flex, but these 3 cannot. So without further ado, let's get into it. The non-negotiable number 1 is your weekly numbers check. Not a full budget review, not a spreadsheet deep dive, just 10 minutes to look at your main accounts, know your balances, spot anything unusual. This is the equivalent of glancing at your car's dashboard while you're driving. You're not doing the maintenance. Shout out to those check engine lights. You're watching for the warning lights. I do this every Sunday evening, sometimes more often throughout the week, but I know at least once a week is doable at any season of my life. It takes less time than scrolling Instagram, but it keeps me from the panic of I have no idea where I am. Now, with this check, usually I'm just looking at all my bank accounts, seeing what the numbers are, checking the cash that I have in my pocketbook, because ever since I moved to Jamaica, I use mainly cash for everything. And that is what my weekly numbers check looks like. And I'm looking at all my accounts, my business, my personal, my savings, everything. But it does take less time than what you would use scrolling on social media or watching a movie on Netflix or whatever the case may be. So just take a few minutes to do that. And that way you'll know your numbers. The non-negotiable 2 for me is the 24-hour pause on unplanned spending. So when life is busy, convenient spending spikes. That means the delivery apps, the rush shipping, the I'll figure it out later purchases. So my rule is any unplanned expense over $50 gets a 24-hour pause. Not a denial, but just a pause. Because remember, we talked about on the podcast before, marketing strategies and marketing tactics, they want you to move fast, because if you move fast, you can't think about it. So most of the time, within those 24 hours, I find a workaround or I realize I didn't need it. Sometimes I still buy it, but I make sure I'm doing a conscious decision. It's not just because some marketing told me I need to buy it now. And when I say marketing, that could be social media, that could be the company, that could be family, that could be friends. I want to make sure I'm making a decision that's a conscious decision. This one rule has saved me thousands of dollars over the years, not because I'm depriving myself, but because I'm not making financial decisions in either a state of exhaustion or, like I said, being influenced by external forces. So non-negotiable number 2 is the 24-hour pause on any unplanned spending, over $50 for me. You can put any amount you want for yourself.
I built this business the old-fashioned way. Hard work and a whole lot of spreadsheets.
Yeah, about that, I upgraded us to Odoo. Odoo puts everything we need, sales, inventory, accounting, on one connected platform. No more juggling systems, no more headaches.
So it all works together?
Exactly.
Odoo is the all-in-one business software that makes running and passing on a business easier than ever. Take your business into the next generation. Try Odoo free at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Non-negotiable number 3 is the monthly stewardship review. So even if it's just 30 minutes, even if the results are messy, once a month, I ask those 3 questions from episode 5. What did I actually do? What moved the needle? And what needs to change? When life is full, this review gets shorter, not skipped. 5 minutes of honest reflection beats 0 minutes of perfect analysis. So I've learned this the hard way. Early in my business, I go hard for 3 months, burn out, let everything slide for 2 months, then panic and repeat. Over and over and over. The recovery costs more than the growth. I'd miss deadlines, pay late fees, lose track of subscriptions, spend emotional energy on financial chaos that could have been prevented had I just took these 3 non-negotiable steps. This trio came from that exhaustion. I needed a system that worked in survival mode, not just in thriving mode, because real life includes both for everybody. So here's the deeper truth. Stewardship isn't about optimizing for one perfect season. It's about faithfulness across all seasons, the busy season, the lean season, the transition season, the celebration season. Your worth as a steward isn't measured by how much you accomplish when conditions are ideal. It's measured by your consistency when conditions are hard. Can you keep your hand on the plow even when the ground is rocky? That is the test. So as you head into your next busy season, whether that's summer travel, back to school, holiday spending, or just life doing what life does, identify your non-negotiable trio. What 3 practices will stay in place no matter what? Write them down, tell someone, make them small enough to survive the storm. I just gave you my 3, but feel free to make your own. And if you're realizing that you need to get your foundation solid before the busy season hits, or you need help identifying which practices should make your trio, head to moneytalkwitht.com/start. The quiz there will help you see exactly where to focus your limited time and energy for maximum impact. This, my friends, wraps up our stewardship series for now, but the conversation continues. Keep managing your money, your time, and your energy with purpose, especially when life gets full. Bye.
Thank you for listening, joining, and being a part of the Money Talk with Tiff podcast this week. You can check Tiff out every Thursday for a new Money Talk podcast. But if you just can't wait until next week, you can listen to previous podcast episodes at moneytalkwitht.com or follow Tiff on all social media platforms at Money Talk with T. Until next time, spend wise by spending less than you make. A word to the money wise is always sufficient.
Question. Real estate in California. What the f***? Seriously, can someone help? What's an escrow? What's an ARM? What is an REO? What is pre-approval? Can I get pre-approval? Why is inventory so low? Why are interest rates so high? Oh, interest rates not so high? How low is low? How not so high is right?
Before you go down the road of questions, get expert help at championsofhome.com. California Association of Realtors. Who's your realtor?